Hi everyone and welcome back on this channel. Today I'd like to talk about quality check or safety nets here on YouTube. Little background why I'm doing this video. I would say like 90% of my knowledge comes from what I learned at a university, at SAE Institute, and in books. That is content that has been peer reviewed, that has been verified or scientifically proven. And maybe 10% of what I know today comes from YouTube or online forums. And while I started this channel a year ago, I started to dive more into YouTube, and actually it came to my conclusion that even some pretty big channels are actually sharing information that is not always so true, that is, sometimes even misleading. Of course, there are some amazing channels. On top of my head, I'm thinking about my old friend Oscar. Hi mate, Oscar from Underdog Music School. For everyone doing electronic music production, I can only highly advise looking this channel up because the pedagogy is amazing. The guy is super sweet and it's just a very nice channel. For people more into mastering, there is of course Nicolas from Panorama Mixing Mastering. There is a French channel called Studio who is doing also very nice content. Of course, there is the old-time Dan Worrall for all nerdy and geeky things. And for example, there's also Sage Audio or Sage Mastering that is doing some pretty neat content as well. This being said, as I said, there are some shady channels even with big audiences, and so I would like to give you like 3 red flags to pay attention, and if a channel has, I would say, at least 2, be sure to run away fast. I'm not going to say any names. My purpose is not to bash anyone, but rather to give you tools to open your eyes on this kind of shady content. First thing first, as soon as a channel is giving you ultimate numbers, like always cut your lows at 25 Hz. Oh, on a vocal, always push 5 kHz. This is the first red flag. When it comes to music, there is no always something. This doesn't exist. Every sound source is different, every microphone, every recording is different and needs specific attention. Sometimes cutting off the lows is helping, sometimes it's increasing your peak level and it's actually messing things up and you want that low end extension. There is no absolute number, right? Sometimes you can compress a vocal by 2:1 ratio, sometimes 10:1 is needed. Sometimes you need to have 2 compressors in a row, or even maybe 3. So don't take numbers for granted. I would say the only numbers that could be worse is when there is a range, right? From this to this range is a frequency spectrum, and you might need to treat that spectrum in a certain way. Second thing linked to that first one is absolute truth. You always need to compress your master bus. You always need to compress your vocals. There are some masters that I'm doing where I'm using 2 compressors. Some others where I'm actually using none. Even some other masters where I'm using an expander to create back some dynamics. So no absolute numbers, no absolute truth. When it comes to music, always use your ears. Trust your gut, listen, and pay attention to the impact of your tools in order to choose the right tools for the right situation. There is no tool that is working all the time for everything, right? Second thing. The third aspect, beware of channels trying to sell you something. I'm not talking about courses. There are some channels like Studio is giving some courses. Nicolas from Panorama also gives some courses. And I think even Oscar is giving some one-to-one information. This has to do with their DNA. What I'm talking about is channel selling you packs. The master it all in a second pack for Ableton, like all the Ableton tools to do the perfect mastering, or preset packs for EQs, this kind of things. These are channels that are trying to use their audience to sell something, to sell a product, to make money. Their purpose is not to sharing knowledge, their purpose is to get money. And this should be the last red flag. Again, as I said, there are many great channels online. I didn't mention them all. There is Vespers. I'm not there to bash anyone or to put anyone forward. I'm just here to give you keys to understand what you should pay attention when you are following a channel and what should be red flags to run far away. Because the problem is sometimes the size of the channel works like a legitimation of the content. Oh, this channel has 40,000 followers. it should definitely what the guy is saying is true, and it's not the case, and there is no one to correct that. Yeah, maybe in the comments, but then maybe not everyone is paying attention and reading all the comments. So always stay critique towards any content you see online. Don't be afraid to check the takeout of a video and see on forums like Gearspace, or even ask now any AI what the AI thinks about what you just took out of that content. Be critique, try things out. If you feel that that an affirmation from some online content is a bit like shady, try it out. See if the thing is working or not. Don't take it for granted. I hope this was helpful. I hope you liked the content. If you did, always nice to support the channel by hitting the little like or following the channel. And yeah, I hope to see you soon for some other more like technical and geeky content. Take care and bye-bye.